Alright. Hey guys. Welcome to my channel. This is TheRealYuriBusiness. Well, this is gonna be the first review. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to leave a like, comment, even subscribe if you're feeling really spicy today. This is gonna be the first one. Of course, it's gonna be a little rough. That's how things go. But I hope you enjoy. We're gonna be talking about the Rose of Versailles today. And I hope you guys enjoy. I think there are shows that we always have in the back of our plan to watch list. I mean, maybe there are those people who actually use their plan to watch lists as real tools to understand what you want to watch in the future. Maybe, like me, you just had a one night of passion with my anime list and added up 100 shows at a time, knowing full well that you aren't going to watch any of them, but gosh, did those summaries look darn cool. Hey, I get it. I've been there. Only recently have my completed shows actually surpassed my plan to watch list. It was a real party after that. However, recently, a show I assumed would have never graced the light of my laptop screen was put to the forefront. I watched The Rose of Versailles last month, as the show's license was expiring for North America, and I caught wind of the fact that the show was going to be taken off both YouTube and Crunchyroll on June 30th, 2018. Now, I already knew about the kind of influence that this show has had on the shoujo genre, and how this show has influenced the anime we know today, especially if, like me, you enjoy shows such as Revolutionary Girl Utena, or anything else that has come out of the director Kunihiko Ikuhara. So, I decided to devote June to watching the 70s epic, and boy, was it a ride. The Rose of Versailles is a 40-episode shoujo anime airing from 1979 to 1980. The story surrounds Oscar, a woman raised as a man by her father to be part of the French Guards. After some pushback, Oscar is tasked to be the head of the Royal Guards, a force in charge of protecting Princess Marie Antoinette, yes, the Marie Antoinette, and the rest of the royal family. However, an interesting thing about this series is that while Oscar is surely the main part of the story over time, the story is not really about Oscar. Oscar is simply this badass that seems to have the hearts of every man and woman in the whole court. The story is really about the passage of time leading up to the French Revolution. The first half of the show is more about the nobility of Versailles and the political intrigue that goes on within it. Marie Antoinette has come in as a new noble in the court, but at a high station. Well, the highest really. Can't really beat princess, can you? The real conflicts really boil down to gals trying to carve their success out of Versailles, whether it's through humiliation or manipulation. While this conflict happens to Marie, Oscar is this presence that seems to act as a mediator with her own sway. As a royal guard, and an attractive one at that, Oscar seems to bypass all the bullshit that the noble ladies seem to entrench themselves in. No matter what, one would have to be prepared for lots of gasping and lots of melodrama in this series. I swear, it's everywhere. I mean, even the pacing, they really take you through it, and it's actually really entertaining. It's kind of my favorite part between the two parts. But anyway, I will tell you this, Lady Valois, a gal who would definitely serve as a bridge between these two parts, the next part I'll get into next, is probably one of my favorite of the foes. Not for Oscar, she'd probably be one of my favorite characters in the whole series. She was just power move after power move, and I loved every bit of it. Honestly, if you can somehow track down clips of her, I swear you're not going to be disappointed. You can somehow get that arc down. I don't know how, but gosh, it's really good. The second half of the show really gets into the lead up and eventual start of the French Revolution. There may be some torrid love affairs here and there, but the real plot has to do with the encroaching unrest among the common people, how Marie Antoinette became so hated, and the movers and shakers doing what they can to either stave off or egg on the French Revolution. The conflicts start to build and scale and have a lot more to do with the people as a whole than the seemingly inconsequential political intrigue going on in the halls of Versailles. It's almost as if you are watching two different shows in this single series. I personally enjoyed the first half a bit more. The intrigue held the sort of drama and glamour that served the show and the show's era a lot better. Now I'll kind of get into other ways it kind of the first half is better served with the way that this show is brought about, but we'll get into that in a sec. The animation for this series is sort of what you would expect out of a 1979 anime. If you have had trouble in the past spotting animation shortcuts, this is a great series to practice. Now that sounds condescending as hell. I'm so sorry, but it's really true. You're gonna see still shots of someone talking and only 2 frames going at the same time to make the lips flap. You're going to see fast panning shots to make up for lack of movement. There isn't too much of a problem in the first half of the series. In fact, the art direction makes up for it by creating nearly art-housey stills as someone monologues or creating melodrama based on a single moment. Things get a little harder for the second half of the series. Because of the variety of scenes, the higher amount of physical action, and the sheer scope of the story, it is the French Revolution after all. You can't just keep reusing backgrounds of palace. The animation shortcuts become a bit more apparent. No doubt, our stuff still continues when it's needed and when you have more emotional moments. But the emotional interpersonal drama takes less of the story up, and you kind of have to see more fights, more action, and you kind of really start seeing where the budget's starting to fall apart. The aesthetic of the animation, however, is pure gold. Pure vintage gold, I have to say. I don't think it could be made today in the sense that there's this utter sincerity in the mass amount of overlaid sparkles and flowers on top of the cel animation Pretty Girls and Boys. The art is truly a treat, and as you watch people duke it out, physically or verbally, the designs leave you enraptured. That old school shoujo aesthetic really shines here. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line this anime may be modernized. I must admit, prematurely, that it may be decent in the future, but I don't know if it will capture the same magic if it's legitimately a faithful adaptation. I mean, the 1970s, it really had something going there. I mean, we get kind of talk around how cel animation, digital animation looks between the two, and honestly, I can see why, especially with this show. So this kind of nearly humble, it seems almost humbly budgeted in comparison to what you see now, but it looks pretty awesome, and it's still got the job done. Even some of the love and drama of the Rose of Versailles were unbelievably subversive for its time, and I can only wonder what sort of ways the show would have to be updated. Oscar is raised to be a boy, but her womanhood is mentioned offhand more than once. All the women absolutely swoon over her. While the story has her skew straight over time, I don't know. She's definitely a power buy to me. In all, The Rose of Versailles is truly a time capsule worth keeping. The show had these streaks of homoeroticism that no doubt paved the way for shows like Revolutionary Girl Utena, and it was just a great snapshot of a classic shoujo anime. I'm normally not a big fan. I'm normally a very big shonen fan, seinen fan. I mean, I watch my good share of Yuri, but honestly, I will have to say that my normal favorite shows of the season often come out of Shonen Jump more than anything. So this was actually kind of a breath of fresh air. I strongly recommend for anyone to try to pick up a DVD of this while they can. I know that the license has run out, so you'll have to look on Amazon. While the DVDs are probably not printing anymore, you can probably find a new or used one, hopefully at a good price. It's always kind of hard. If you can find at least the first part, you're can be kind of set, because that is the best one in my opinion. But I know completists. I'd want to be a completist too. So definitely see what you can do. Anime hipsters and shoujo fans, you're gonna love this. You're likely to get a good amount of mileage out of it. It will suck anyone though. It's gonna suck you in unexpectedly with its melodrama and style. Anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking around this long and hearing my first review on this channel. I'm sorry for the lack of video. I don't know yet how to get legal footage on a Mac, and I don't want the FBI after me. So I settled for some screen caps, interlaying over time. I also tried not to do too many spoilers in case somehow, some way, you wanted to actually watch it. And even though the license has been expired now, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to bring it back, just like an Astro Boy or Princess Knight. It really is an important show in the sense that a lot of sociologists have already wrote about this and the kind of importance, especially with the gender dynamics between all the characters. It's really cool. Anyway, have you guys seen The Rose of Versailles? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you curious about it? Do you have thoughts on this review? Totally leave a comment below. Remember to like it if you like it, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more anime reviews and content in the future. The Real Yuri Business is now signing off and adjourning this meeting.